Yeah, this is going to be one of those videos that's very serious. And I'm going to spread some awareness. That being said, this is going to talk about a serious subject. And if you guys are squeamish and if you want to pause the video, that's totally fine. But yeah, there is a lot of hard subject material for this, and I want you guys to be aware. So thanks for listening in. You've been warned. Okay, so if you guys don't know me, I actually do like a series or animated series that's based off a girl toy line. That is My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and I am one of the many fans of the show. Oh boy, this is going to be a hard subject. There's a lot of famous brony reviewers and analysts that do review the show, and one of those famous people was ToonKritik. However, in recent events, and when I mean recent, it happened last year, and it's still going on, yeah, this is going to be a hard subject. So, sorry about this, guys. Okay. So here's what happened. In January of 2008, in January 25th, 2018, we found out that Toon was... there was a call between British Ninja and Josh Scorcher, two other brony announcers, and 3 other people. And they were calling Toon because... I can't believe this, but... Toon was sex role-playing with a minor. Sexual roleplay and sexual misconduct of a minor. And I'm sorry, I just had to stop there because this was just uncomfortable. He was sexually abusing a minor, a girl from the Philippines. Oh man. And when Josh and British and 3 other guys were talking to Toon, it felt like he just had a bowl of, I didn't give a crap, I didn't do anything wrong. He was just trying to weasel his way out, and it felt like, he was just trying to make excuses after excuses. Like, he felt like he was like a kid that didn't know what the consequences of his mistakes were, and now it just makes me upset and angry. This isn't something, Toon, that you could say it's a mistake. This is worse than a mistake. It is a crime. The fact that he did this to a minor... It just horrifies me. And it also makes me bad that, like, before this, I wanted to interview Toon for this podcast. Because I thought, you were a cool dude. But no, I was wrong. He's just... It just sucks that somebody I thought was cool wasn't exactly who he was. I really hate to say this, but I don't hate to say this, but it sucks that we have moments in the world where somebody we knew or someone we used to love, it was not like it is. Again, there are examples of this, like Bill Cosby or Johnny Depp, because those are people that you can like them for what they've done for the world, but you don't like them as people, and Toon is exactly this, and I can't believe he did that. This is easily one of the worst things a human being would ever do. And sorry, this is really uncomfortable. Toon. The fact is that after this, like, Toon just stopped calling. He was kicked out of DeviantArt. He tried to weasel his way out in the community. In other times, thanks to his boyfriend Isaac for drawing him some duo C so that and faking it. The thing is with Toon is that he's and the thing is that a lot of people have reported him, but he hasn't gone to jail yet. He's still alive, and that he's still doing these things just really makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. It makes me feel so mad and so angry that he still hasn't reported himself. If he really cared, he would have not have done this. This happened on January 25th, 2018, and this is like, let me check it, August 17, 2019, and yet he shows no responsibility whatsoever. And that just makes me sick that we have people like this. You know what really pisses me off is that I just found out some things, not right now, but a few years ago, like, thanks to Miss Antro, that, Toon has been through a lot of shit in his life. Here are some evidence, like his dad abandoned him because his mom was a closet lesbian, and Toon was bullied. He had a friend that was picked on, he was being bullied. He had a friend that was picked on to the point that that friend, I think, committed suicide. And that he's been through a lot of shit in his life. But I don't excuse it, because just because you're going through a lot of crap in your life doesn't give you the right to treat someone like shit or sexually abuse them. And it just makes me sick that, you would think a guy who's been through all of this shit in his life, like being bullied and picked on and dealing with abandonment issues with his father, you would think that he would have not been like this, but here he is doing something worse than what has happened to these people. He did something incredibly worse, and it just makes me question it. Question it, and it's just that what? And it just makes me feel like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? I will admit, I did used to give an analyst of the brony fandom shit, and that was Miss Antropony, aka Map. I will admit, I'm still mad at Map for him getting mad at Ben Saint and not walking away from the problem, or his Doug Walker stuff where he rants on him and doesn't agree to disagree with the Doug fans he argues with. But here's the thing with Antro. With Antro, at least when he screws up or makes a mistake, at least he can own up to it and try to fix his mistake. He can at least take responsibility, and at least he will take that mistake and learn from it. Plus, at least the things Antro did are not emotionally damaging or mentally scarring to someone, unlike with Toon, who scarred and mentally and emotionally scarred a girl. Plus, at least I know that Map is a good person. person, that he does care about people despite his flaws. He says, Toon, he's never going to own up to anything. He's never going to take any responsibility. He's never going to learn from his mistakes. He's never going to take any bad thing that happened to him and learn from it. And he's not even a good person. That makes me respect Matt even more. More that at least Matt wouldn't do this shit despite his flaws and weaknesses. So you would think that I'm just guessing that Toon Critic wouldn't do this, that I'm jumping to conclusion, but here's the thing. I found out from, for no good reason, in a video chat where Toon, in nearly a year, in, like, let's say 4 months, he got a call, and it seemed, and when, like, how Toon was talking and defending his boyfriend, Isaac, it felt like Toon was not taking any responsibility. So it shows that not only is he an irresponsible douchebag, but he's also a disgusting human being who thinks the world is against him and doesn't take any responsibility because he's a dumbass. But wait! There's more! There are actually people that will defend Toon. His actions, which makes me even more angry that we live in a really dumb period in time. But, man, these people are just stupid and dumb to defend someone that did all of this stuff. One of them actually changed and regret, but still has to deal with the consequences. One of these people is Performance Major. This was during 2 months of last year when Toon was caught, and Major really blamed Toon's victim and not Toon himself, and he got a lot of backlash. And the thing is with Major is that he does regret it, and he did apologize and did say, I'm sorry I did that, I should not have defended him. And we also do get into a little bit psyche that Major does have some abandonment issues from, like he was ditched by his friends. But the thing is that the difference between when the people abandoned Toon and when you were abandoned is that those people were jerks, Performance Major. Toon deserved to be abandoned because he was a lying, stuck-up piece of shit. And I don't want to hate Major as a person, but I am going to hate him for that mistake, because Major didn't just, this isn't like, let's say, I'm going to use a current example, like the Vic Mignogna thing, where he's either pro-Vic or anti-Vic. It's not like, or like there's no side to it. Like, the thing is that he blamed someone for the actions of a pedophile. He blamed a victim. And if he's still regretful, I heard that he hasn't been in YouTube in a while, so I think he quit YouTube because he's extremely regretful. I hope, on one hand, I hope Major does incredibly learn from this and gets over it, but on the other hand, I'm still mad at him for what he did, and I hope he can take this as this learning experience to not blame people for people. And it's just, and sadly, like I said, there are definitely people that do defend Toon, and there was a video from For No Good Reason, that he was interviewing a bunch of defenders, and a lot of them were blaming the victim and saying that, oh, Toon has changed, and we're just uncaring and unsympathetic towards the victim. And I'm just gonna say this: that maybe one day they change their mind, realize that we're not defending a nice guy, we're defending a pedophile. And that's the scary thing, is that there are people that will defend Toon's actions and say that, oh, it's not his fault, it's the victim's fault. And that really does piss me off. That we do live in a world where people are, and this isn't like with the Vic Mignogna thing, where where you can at least see why people would defend Vic and why people would not defend Vic. But here, it's more like I don't understand why these people would defend Toon, because he's nothing more than a lying sack of crap who's disrespectful, mean, and is willing to do things with minors. And that's also just really, really just disgusting. But sadly, it gets worse. Toon not only did this to a lot of people, did not just do it just for one people. He emotionally abused a lot of women when he was dating them. And one of them was one of his friends, Voice of Reason's girlfriend, Sega's sister. And there's not just one victim, there's more victims. There's a lot of evidence that do show that Toon is just this horrible person, and yet Toon has a current boyfriend named Isaac, who's trying to help him sneak his way back, not only in the brony fandom, but other fandoms, because Isaac, I think, is one of those people that doesn't really care what Toon does, and that's really scary. And it's just... Yeah, I'm sorry. It's really scary that Isaac would not only defend Toon, but also just sweep his actions under the rug, and that's it. And it sucks. Toon sucks, and it also just really sucks that Isaac is blinded by this. And here's the thing. I do not respect Toon. I hate him. I think he's a low-life piece of shit. And I hope he goes to jail, because he deserves it. And it does suck that he's just like Bill Cosby, or Johnny Depp, or John Cristofalusi, or Chris Savino, or Barbara Streisand, or Pro Jarrett, where he's one of those people that, while he's very good at what he does, he's still not a great human being. And Toon could easily be that person. And it sucks. And I hope Toon either gets arrested and goes to jail for a long time. Because Toon, you screwed up, but here's the thing. That's not a mistake. This is a crime. And you deserve to be punished. Screw you, Toon. And I'm sorry that this was a serious podcast, people. I just wanted to get this off my chest. So, on a better note, this is Krueger with a Thought. Signing off.